back to another video from me from our travels. Today I'm going to share with you my trip in Asturias, which costed a little bit around 250 euros. To multiple cities in the region of Asturias in Spain. To be honest, I have never heard of the region before. I didn't know it existed. I didn't have any idea about it until I was actually going to Madrid. And I had like 3 or 5 days to spare, so I decided to look for places to visit. I was at first going to go to Bilbao, but I changed my idea when I found this place called Asturias. I started looking through pictures in Google and I realized that it is a really pretty region to visit, and I went for it. So from Madrid I took the bus to Oviedo. It is actually the capital city of Asturias. The bus ride cost was 35 euros, so the round trip was 70 euros from Madrid to Asturias. It was a night bus and I slept through the whole trip. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember waking up at 6 a.m. arriving to Oviedo. I waited at the bus station a little bit because the hotel was going to be open at that time, and then I decided to go, like when it reached 8 a.m. I decided to go for a tour in the city. I actually left my baggage in the luggage storage of the bus station. The police officer there was really nice. He actually helped me through the whole situation, and you can leave your luggage for 3 or 2 euros for the whole day actually, which is very cheap, very doable, and in a very secure location. So we went for a tour in the city. The city is actually pretty small. It's not as I expected. I thought like it would be the capital of the region, so it would be probably very big like Sevilla or Madrid or whatever, but it is not. It is a very small city. I think I finished touring the city in like not even 2 hours. I have toured the whole of the city. The city is really interesting. It is a very artistic city. So there are so many statues and sculptures around the city because actually it is a very artistic city. Like statues of the famous Eduardo Orcula, like the statue of La Regenta, which I actually happened to read the story of La Regenta and its history in my Spanish class in Cervantes. So it's amongst others and others of statues around the city. It is absolutely beautiful. It is very artistic. It has that really unique charm to it. I don't think I have been to places like this city before, so it was really interesting to visit. After that, I decided to go to this really close by city called Avilés. I took the train this time, and I think the train cost about 3 euros. That's it. It just cost 3 euros, so I went for it. It was just not even 30 minutes away from Oviedo. The ride was really beautiful. You see the beauty of the region of Asturias, the greenery, the scenery. It's just beautiful. But my luck was a little bit bad because it actually was raining, so I didn't get to enjoy Avilés as much as I wanted to. The city is also very, very small. I went to the marina area and I visited one of the very famous monuments they have there, as you can see in the picture. So after the marina, I actually went to the city center. It is not, the city is very small, so you won't get lost. There isn't a lot of things to do in Avilés, but it is still a very beautiful city. It is just charming, and I actually liked the city. There are also a lot of parks as well, so it is very interesting to visit as well. That was the first day in Asturias. I went back to Oviedo. I walked around the park, and then I went back to pick up my luggage and go to the hotel. The hotel that I took wasn't really fancy or anything. It actually was really, really close to the train station. It was just in front of the train station. It was in a city center, and it cost me 100 euro for the 4 days that I stayed in the region of Asturias, so it was pretty good. On the second day, I went to Gijón, a very famous city in Asturias. Actually, it is the city where the fun happens, because I realized after that that most of the festivals, concerts actually happen in Gijón. So it was really interesting to visit the city. It is really beautiful. It is a little bit bigger than Oviedo and Aviles, and it has a lot of things to offer and to see. I visited Las Ledronas in Gijón. It is just in the marina area, so you get to see the marina. You get to see the boats. It's just magnificent. It is just beautiful. And to add to that, the day was really sunny, so it was really good to see the city on that day. After that, I visited Antigua Torre of Gijón, and then they have this monument called Árbol de la Sidra. And then I walked around the city center, went through the souvenirs shops and so on, and then I actually relaxed by this place called Rey Pelayo. It is like a fountain with the statue of a certain king of the area. It is just beautiful. The city is just magnificent. I loved it. I actually love anything related to where you can find the beach or the marina or anything like that. So I absolutely loved the city. The people are very nice. Yeah, and I enjoyed my stay in Gijón. I went back to Oviedo in the evening. For transportation in Gijón, I didn't use any transportation. I just walked around, so I didn't spend anything on transportation. And the same thing goes to Aviles and Oviedo. You just walk around the city. They're not really that big that in which you need transportation. You just don't. You just walk around. And actually, I do need to walk a lot. So yeah, it was really good. On the next day, I woke up very, very early because okay, here's the thing. In Asturias, there aren't a lot of transportation means in the region. There are buses and trains don't actually connect all of the villages and the cities around Asturias. So I went to this machine of Alsa buses in the bus station, and I printed out, you can print out like the timings and all of the necessary information about certain buses to certain areas. So you say, for example, you can type from Oviedo to Cudillero or from Oviedo to Gijón or whatever, and they give you a list of the next day or like on that day timings of the buses, and it actually was really helpful to me. So I actually took those timings, and I knew that there is like an early bus that goes to Cudillero, so I went for it. It cost about €5. Cudillero was like top of my list to visit. It was one of the cities that are really charming. The place is just incredible. So on my way there, I absolutely fell in love with Asturias. The region is just incredible. There are mountains, there are rivers that run around. There are like these incredible greenery scenery that you can see in the region. It's just magnificent. And on top of that, I met this really old woman who's really charming, who knew that I was actually a tourist, and she started talking to me in Spanish. At that time, I didn't have like a strong Spanish, so I was just like sí, no. And she was actually telling me about the history. I understood what she was saying, but I couldn't actually respond to her. She invited me actually to go with her to this place called San Esteban. I couldn't because I needed to go to Cudillero, but when the bus stopped at San Esteban, the place looked magnificent, and I actually didn't know about it. So I'm going back to Asturias just to visit San Esteban and hopefully get to meet this woman again, because she was just so nice, so incredible. She made me fell in love with Asturian people. It's just magnificent. So in Cudillero, I wanted to visit the Bay of Biscay. Sadly, the weather was gloomy. Well, you couldn't see the beauty of the buildings and the beach and the sea with the gloomy weather. So I was like, I toured the place. I walked around the small houses, colorful houses. I walked around the city, and then I crossed through the bridge, and I got to this really nice place where you can see all of the city. And I waited there, started waiting for the sun to come up, but it didn't. I did get a little bit disappointed knowing that there was only one bus that leaves at 2, actually at 2 p.m. and the next bus actually leaves really late at night. So I had to take the 2 o'clock bus to go back to not to go back to Oviedo, but to go to Riba de Sella, to go back to Gijón, and then from Gijón to Riba de Sella. And I didn't have any other option. I waited until 1 p.m. The sun was still not coming up, so I just enjoyed the place exactly how it is, although it was springtime and it was supposed to be sunny, but anyways, it happens. I actually had a really nice lunch with fish, because it is actually a fisherman city, so you can enjoy a lot of fresh seafood. It was just beautiful, and I loved every minute in Cudillero. After that, as I told you, there was only one bus that leaves at 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. from Cudillero I went to Gijón, and then I had to change the bus to Riba de Sella. Riba de Sella is also one of these beautiful places that you see in the map, and I made sure to visit Riba de Sella that evening. I got there, the place is just beautiful. It is also not crowded, which is, I absolutely love Asturias because of this reason. It is not crowded, it is not filled with tourists, it is just magnificent, and you get to see all of the cities, all of the places, all of the villages without needing to wait to get into somewhere or any of that. You just like enjoy the places. Riba de Sella is really magnificent as well. It is just amazing. I found this tourist train where you can get in and it gives you the tour of the city. It only costs around like 3 euros, and I took that and I went through the tour of the city, and then after that I enjoyed the ice cream. It was just beautiful. I loved the town, I felt in love with it. So yeah, the highlights of my trip were actually Riba de Sella and Cudillero. I loved them, I absolutely felt in love with them. After that I took the bus back to Oviedo. It was my last night there. And well, the next day I just had a tour of Oviedo for the last time, and then I took the bus back to Madrid. It was the end of my trip to Asturias, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Asturias is not really that crowded place, it is not that touristy place, but it's worth it. I loved every minute in it. I would definitely go back to visit more places, villages and cities in this region. I know it is worth it. It's just breathtaking. You know those pictures that you see on Google and you're like, oh, I hope it looks exactly the same. It actually looks the same. Yeah, so I absolutely loved it, and I hope to go back there and visit more and more places. That's it for my video about Asturias. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video if you want to, or if you like it, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye!